As you may have gathered by now, I am a very optimistic person. However, you may not know I'm also practical. My cargo makes me a target for pirates, therefore, the cargo was the first thing to get dropped off on my round. Everything was going smoothly, just like the day before. I landed the ship with only a few snickers from traffic control. I got my first ton of tea squared away, and I was on my way back from the drop-off point when I overheard a conversation. There was an angry voice yelling, "Why are you even here if you don't have any missions?" The man behind the kiosk just answered, "We always have work for you. You just have to kill ships and turn in bounties to us." "Then why are there two lines? He has work on his boards and you're both Pilots Federation." There were two lines with Pilots Federation glowing above them. I couldn't really tell the difference between the two kiosks. Both had scuffed and worn tracks from heavy gravity boots. And I really couldn't see why one had a long line and the other only this angry commander. "Feel free to talk to my associate." The attendant pointed to a snaking line of harried commanders waiting to turn in and pick up missions. Cursing, the man stomped angrily towards the back of the line, jostling a dock worker out of the way. Noted. When I came to collect my money for the tea and the coffee, I wouldn't make the same mistake. Just as I was about to leave, I saw the man from the hostel. His tattoos glowing with neon ink. He strode up to the same kiosk, and the man behind the desk paled noticeably. Confused, I pause, people cursing as they avoid me. I just catch the attendant saying, "You shouldn't be here. How did you get in?" I'm bumped and snap back to what I was doing. Feeling the urge to suddenly get as far as I can from here, I tug on the borrowed hand lifter. The thing that's been bugging me all day, though, is what the tattooed commander said in response. I think he said, "Our mission crosses any permit locks?" Or maybe it was old mission credits and permits. I got lost in the crowd of busy people heading back to the shipyard. "Girl, watch where you're going!" A dock worker snaps at me and bam, my lifter gets caught on a light post. "Sorry," I say, struggling to untangle it. It isn't easy. The light post is somehow in a part of the lifter that both pushing and pulling won't get it free. I am so embarrassed. I wish I could just disappear. I toggle the controls, just making a terrible grinding noise of the hydraulics, tugging with all of my weight, my hands getting slippery with sweat. It just won't budge. Then, suddenly, a strong hand grips the handle next to mine. "Here, let me help." I look up into the shining ocular implants of the tattooed man. I let go, falling flat on my ass. Turning to survey the mess, he waves his hand over the control panel and toggles a switch. Then he easily rotates the lifter off of the post. It has a free float mode, but they lock it for new pilots. Eyes wide, I get to my feet. Thank you." My hand accidentally brushes his as I reach back for my lifter. I feel the warmth of his body radiating off him. To my surprise, he smiles back, teeth glinting white against the black of his inked skin. "You're welcome, new girl." At this close distance, I notice a patch sewn into his jumpsuit. It looks like a layer of planets or coins with a ring around them. He doesn't linger long enough for me to ask any questions, turning quickly and striding over to a plain sidewinder. A bit shaken, I slowly make my way back to Tiny and Mighty to offload some more tea. However, it's the next stop where I make a somewhat rash choice to leave the training zone. I am turning in data that has been brought from Matet to this oily-haired attendant taking the transfer before passing me my credits. He leans forward across the counter. Want a very important job? His overly perfect features and slicked back hair seem kind of synthetic. What's the job? I smile, hoping it's something that will give me the credits to upgrade my ship. He passes me a photo of a man. We need this pilot eliminated. The hollow text says, assassinate known pirate Lido. Eliminate? Assassinate? My mind is drawing a complete blank. I push back the mission, backing away from the kiosk. No thanks. But inside I'm screaming, I am not a killer. The smarmy attendant shrugs. You don't do it, someone else will. Flustered, I forgot to even get a new job as I leave the kiosk. Halfway back to my ship, I start to doubt my decision. Was I afraid of not being able to fight the pirate or having to kill another person? I know sooner or later I have to learn to fight to at least protect myself. Lioness's call came in just then. She was fuming. The Pilots Federation of Thieves! I'm leaving the training area. You should too if you're smart. Whoa, what happened? I had just barely sat down in my pilot's chair. I had an order for pesticides and agri-medicines left to source for Matet. Pulling up the trade route, I was half listening to Lioness. I told my brother how much we are getting paid for the missions here. He compared it to galactic averages, and we are getting paid space dust. I could see her ship spooling up a jump. I'm out. You won't be able to reach me until you leave. Don't fall for their safe space ploy. The call disconnects as she jumps. I stare at the dark screen, not even really thinking as I make the choice. It's time to take some risks. Even if I'm not ready to fight, I am at least able to take off the training wheels. I work quickly, grabbing the goods and delivering them back to Matet. Almost as if the mission board was reading my mind, a mission to travel outside of the training zone pops up for 100,000 credits. I swipe it up and head out for the unknown. Okay, even I have to admit, this sucks. I am sitting here in zero gravity, floating in the closet these little sidewinders call crew quarters. Why, do you ask? Am I sucking my dinner out of a tube, tethered into my bunk? Well, I completely lost track of time, taking mission after mission until I am so tired I can't even fly. And just my luck, this tiny outpost is in a system in lockdown. I just offloaded the last of the liquor bottles, with security personnel warning me that loitering could have me hauled off to a detention facility. I sweet-talked one of the traffic control people to rent this pad from them for the night. The ship is locked, proximity alarms on, but I don't think I'm going to sleep much tonight. I start daydreaming of hot food and gravity. And I almost pick up the phone to call home, but I'm too embarrassed. I do send off a text to Lioness. I'm out too. Pulling up Galnet, I start to search for information on sidewinders and where to find a good mechanic. Tomorrow, I'm going to explore, looking for shipyards, paying jobs, and a port to call home. Well, at least temporarily, that is.